roots. And when we're talking about roots, n is just any variable. So it could mean I want to take the square root, the cube root, the fourth root, the fifth root. It's just any root at all. So well, we're going to start off with some easy stuff. Make sure we remember what we're actually finding here. If I said n is 3 and a is negative 2/16. Okay, directions for this read, find the nth roots of a. Okay, this is simple, it's just written funny to try to confuse you. Find the nth roots of a. Well, what's my n? 3. So that n, that means I'm finding the cube root of negative 2/16. Because it's always going to be the nth root of a. Okay, so what you're looking for is what times itself 3 times equals negative 2/16. Now, first off, to ask yourself, is it possible to have a negative underneath there? Yes. When the root is odd, you can have a negative underneath there. Because a negative times a negative times a negative does make a negative, right? If the root is even, no negatives under there because that would be i's, right? Everybody remember that? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it with and without a calculator both ways. If I get some quick perfect cubes, I know 1 cube's 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed, 4 times 4 is 16, is 464, 5 cubed, 5 times 5 is 25, 5 times 5 is 125, we get closer. 6 cubed, 6 and 6 is 36, times 6 is 216. So there, that tells me my answer. Negative 6 to the third would equal 216, so this would be negative 6. Negative 6, that's it. Okay? To do that on your calculator, cube root is a function in those calculators. If it gets higher than cube root, we got to do something a little bit different. But you can do a cube root. You'll just hit the math button and then move it down to the one that's got a cube in it. Pick that and then type in negative 216. Let me know if you need help finding it on your calculator. So pretty simple, nothing earth-shattering. I told Kylie this was easy today. I wasn't lying yet. Okay, how about got what you need on that page? How about the n is 4 and a is 81? So we're wanting to find the nth root of a. So to write that mathematically looking, that means the fourth root of 81. So I'm asking myself, what times itself 4 times? It's the fourth root. What times itself 4 times equals 81? Okay, I know if I look at 2 to the 4, 2 to 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. 3 to the 4th, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27 times 3 is 81. So I know it's got to be 3, but is it only 3? Remember this right when we did square roots, it could always be positive or negative. So what about a fourth root? Can that be positive or negative? Could 3 to the 4th equals 81? Does negative 3 to the 4th also equal 81? Yes, it does. Brooklyn's right. So my answer on this would be positive or negative 3.
So anytime you have a even.
Even. Yes, ma'am. The even root will get you the plus or minus. Now, to do that one on your calculator takes a few more steps because there's not a fourth root. So if you've got, how you'll do this on your calculator, you'll hit your root. So on your home screen, you're going to push 4. Then you'll hit math. And then you'll move it down to the one that's got a variable in it. And then type in your 81. Now the bad news is it only gives you the positive one on that. So you've got to remember that it's positive and negative.
So you go by the n, doing positive and negative stuff?
Say that all over again.
You go by the n, doing positive and negative?
If the n is an even number, you'll have positive and negative. If it's an odd number, it'll just be whatever it is.
But if it's odd, it doesn't have to be negative, it can be positive.
Yes. It'll be whatever that number is if it's odd.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And everybody figure out how to do that? So anything bigger than 3, you got to type the root first, and then hit math and pick the one. Is it an X or a Y?
It's an X.
It's an X.
put down.
Ah, I like this next thing. This says to evaluate 16 to the 1/2 power. Directions say evaluate. What does evaluate mean in math?
Solve.
Solve. Good. What else?
The answer.
Get the answer. I like it. Did I not do tell you all this like in the first week of school? Evaluate for me. This is Coach Wright's stuff. Evaluate for me is Nike.
What?
You did not trust that.
What's the slogan of Nike?
Just do
Just do
it.
it.
Just do it.
Oh.
So normally I like scream Nike and make everybody jump out of their chair, but I won't do it for you today because it's raining outside. And Macy thinks we don't have school when it rains.
Because I'm scared of the thunderstorm.
But evaluate, just do it, solve it, work it out, any of those things. All right, what this, we've got, that's rational. That power is rational. Remember, rational means a fraction. Here's a little note to make over here. The numerator is the power. The denominator is the root. Now, I say power over root, power over root, power over root, until that gets stuck in your head. Power over root, power over root. So if I'm finding 16 to the 1/2 power, that means I'm finding 16 to the first power and taking the square root of it. Power over root, power, and if it's no number written in the root, what root's understood? 2, which is what that was, right? So power over root. You can put the 2 there if that's bugging you.
So that was 3.
Oh.
Okay. Now, why did I want to do that? Because that's easy, and I know that in my head, and you do too. Because 16 to the first power is just 16. What's the square root of 16? Positive or negative, right? Don't forget the positive or negative. Power over root, power over root. Now, could I have just done this in my calculator? Yeah. I think that would have taken more buttons to push than you just knew what the square root of 16 was. But to do that in your calculator, I would say 16. You'll know where the power button is. It's that rooftop's what I call it. Rooftop. Then I'd have to do the alpha y equals to get the half on there. But that would work. That would do that. Again, though, it's only going to tell you positive 4. You got to know it's positive and negative. May need help figuring that out. It's more fun to sing power over root than to type that in your calculator. Just saying. It's been a first period got to do ninja math. Y'all get to do power over root. This is a fun day in my math world, Caitlin. Some days I'm like, this is boring. It was fun.
What's ninja math?
Get the ninja stuff out. Yeah, you will do it in here. I didn't bring my ninja sword for them today because I forgot. I might bring my ninja sword when we do it with y'all.
It might be too dangerous with a ninja sword.
Plastic.
That's still a bit dangerous.
That's pretty hard. You could whack somebody so their head knock them out with it. Not that I've ever done that, but it's possible.
Hey, what are the last 2 words of the note say?
Of rational expressions.
I'm confused.
Okay.
It says power over root.
Uh-huh. When the exponent is written as a fraction, the numerator will go in the power of it, so 16 to the first power.
Oh.
The denominator will go in the root.
Okay, I get it now.
Power over root. Alright, let's look at another power over root. I want to know, I want to evaluate, I want to Nike 32 to the negative 3/5. Okay, so we got a negative. What are we going to do with a negative? Well, I'll tell you. Do what? Somebody tell me already? What does a negative power, and we covered this a while ago, what does a negative power do to our expression? Maybe. Is that not when we had a negative power, didn't we put it on bottom and make it positive? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Look, y'all got to be able to remember past a week ago. I know that's tough. I asked last period to remember to the 4th grade, and they just
Wait, so that turns
Whew.
to positive?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Negative power puts it on bottom, makes it positive. We wrote something down that looks like that when we did that a while ago. All right. So now I'm going to do my power over root like normal, but it's just going to be underneath the 1. So I'm going to have 1 over 32 to the 3rd. There's your power. I'm going to take the 5th root of it. Power over root. Now, if I try to do this in my head with no calculator, 32 to the 3rd, yeah, I don't know. That's 32 times 32 times 32. I don't know. But the 5th root of 32, that's more manageable because I know to multiply something by itself 5 times and get 32, it's got to be small, doesn't it? So I'm thinking here, what would 2 to the 5th be? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Ding, ding, ding. Right? So this is so far now, the 5th root of 32 is 2.
Whoa. Whoa. How does it
The 5th root of 32. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Very good. So when I did that and wrote the 2 there, I'm done with the 5th root. I don't have to rewrite that again. I did the 5th root of 32 and got 2. So now I'm just looking at 1 over 2 cubed. What's 2 cubed? 8. So 1 over 8 is your final answer. Equals 1, 8. Now, do I need to throw a plus minus?
No.
Why? You're right. Why?
5.
5th root's odd, so it is just what it is. So that's it. Now, for those of y'all that are scared right now, could you have typed that and got the same thing?
Yes.
Yes, you could have. You do 32, the power button, negative 3/5.
Is that 32 bottom?
Yeah,
Huh? That's the power button. She want to know how to do it on her calculator. The rooftop button. You see what? Oh. I don't know. Yeah, the calculator does it all for you.
This is so simple.
But I like power over root, power over root, power over root. Makes me want to dance a jig.
So the calculator goes down there. Always looks
Alright, next. I got here 9 to the 1/5. Alright, let me read you some directions on this one. You listening? Directions say evaluate, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So what they're hinting to you here is this one may not be a whole number, right? All right, so I'm going to check it out and see. Power over root. 9 to the first power is just 9. So I'm looking for the 5th root of 9. Well, 1 to the 5th is 1. 2 to the 5th times 2 is 4. We just did it. It's 32. So I missed 9 in there, didn't I? So I know it's got to be somewhere between 1 and 2, so it's got to be 1 point something. That's when you type it on your calculator and get the decimal answer. What was it, Courtney? 1.55 would be the nearest hundred. Where? Chicken dinner? Alright. Now, how before that whole Thanksgiving, we were solving stuff. Like on the bell ringer, there we were solving stuff. So let's look at how this would relate to solving something. If I had 4x to the 5th equals 128, I'm told to solve. Alright, good. We've actually done a little bit of this before. My x is being multiplied by 4, so I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to divide by 4. So divide both sides by 4. So x to the 5th would equal 32. Is that right? 12 over 4 is 3, 8 over 4 is 2. Okay, good. Y'all ought to have that one in your brain like Mason does by now. That is to the 5th root. How do I undo I said that wrong. Sorry. That's to the 5th power. I told you the answer. How do I undo a 5th power? Take the 5th root. So x is going to be whatever the 5th root of 32 is, and we know it is 2. Positive, negative, or just positive, or just negative? Just positive, because it's an odd, so you take the sign that's underneath there. That means that we don't have the plus minus sign. So since this is a positive, our answer is just positive.
So what would the directions be for that problem?
Directions said find the real solution. But I would put solve. Alright, let's look at another one like that. My bad, Gracie. I got magic. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Alright. Okay. This is same idea, same directions, but the problem looks different. Shh, y'all simmer down. X minus 3 to the 4th equals 21. On that last one, our variable was being multiplied by something, and we got rid of that first. Okay, this one, my variable is in a binomial, and that whole binomial is being raised to the 4th power. So I need to undo that 4th power, take the 4th root of everything. Okay, now, good news for some of y'all, bad news for some of y'all. 21 is not a perfect 4th. Doesn't go into it evenly. So let's round our 4th root of 21 to the nearest 100 again.
Did you not do it this way?
No, because what that means is you have to write the x minus 3 4 times and do it like that.
So if I want to try to spoil it.
Right. And what y'all get for the 4th root of 21?
2.14.
Okay, does that need a plus or minus?
Both.
Okay, so I got to throw the plus minus sign there, right? Okay, so that means this thing's actually going to have a couple of answers. So I'm looking at my variable, and it's got 3 being subtracted, so to undo that, I just got to add it, but I've got to add the 3. Oh, slow down there, silly. I got to add the 3 to 2.14 and to negative 2.14. Okay, so that gets me, that first one's an easy one. I can do that, 5.14. What's the second one? 0.8. 0.6? Oh. I didn't know you were just adding on my 0.8 answer. Well, there you go. Because it was a plus or minus, we had to add the 3 to the positive 2.14 and the negative 2.14. Good stuff. I like it. I like it a lot.
That reminded me of Dumb and Dumber.
I won't say anything about that. Like maybe some of y'all are just kidding. I was just teasing. Alright, I'm going to give you 2 of these to try, like the ones we just did. First one is 5x cubed equals 320. There's number 1. Number 2 is x plus 3 to the 4th is equal to 24. So these are the 2 like we just did since we switched to solving. Try those.
5x to the
Third, 5x to the 3rd. Yes, it looks exactly like it. Say that again.
Are we doing both?
Yes, do both of those. Yes. Power over.
Do you want us to round it to the nearest 100?
If one needs to be rounded, yes, round it to the nearest 100th.
Oh, I divided by 50 instead of 5. So.
Hey. Yes, we added 3. Yes, ma'am. But you gotta do the 4th root. Oh, you already did that. So we'll have a negative 2.21 and a positive 2.21, and we'll subtract 3 from both of those.
Yeah.
Alright, on 5x cubed equals 320. Simmer down, let's finish this up. 5x cubed equals 320. What did you do first? Divide both sides by 5. That got me x cubed is equal to 64. Hey, I like 64. I think that's a perfect cube, isn't it? So it's 4. Is it?
No, it's just 4. It's just 4.
Just positive 4. No, because 5 wouldn't be a perfect cube. So that would throw a wrench into the plan there. Okay, it's just positive because it was odd and 64 was positive. Alright, everybody okay on that? Now, and this is different because this is what Rose was just talking about. On that one that we just did, we divided first. But on this one that we're fixing to do, we're going to root it first. So you got to make sure we're clear on that. When there's nothing else to do outside the parentheses like that, then the root's all there is. Okay? So we enter that 4th root. I'll say that wrong every time. We enter that 4th power by 4th rooting. What's the 4th root of 24?
2.21.
Maybe positive or negative. So then I got to get the x all by itself by subtracting 3. So I'm going to do 2.21 minus 3. I'm going to do negative 2.21 minus 3. Okay, so tell me what two answers that gets me.
Negative 0.79 and negative 5.21.
Negative 5.21. That's all she wrote. Good job. Alright, what we grow to from this is just what to do when we're adding, subtracting, and multiplying them. We got some properties that we'll have to look at using the exponents, all kinds of stuff. then we'll eventually get to graphing with those. So it's easy stuff here for a few days. Pretty simple.
Is that we done?
Yep. Everybody good on that for today?
That was easy.
Alrighty, that'll be a wrap. That's what first period says. That's a wrap.
Absences count against you.